Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a very hot Bonsai Expression. Whoo! It is 25 scorching degrees today. You can just see how hot it is. I've got a lovely tan from being in the Bonsai Expression garden. And you can see, if I move out of the way, in fact, just let me move off camera. Look at them trees. Everything is sprouting, full leaf. The garden and the trees are looking fan-dabby-dozer. Can't ask for better. Everything's in growth. I've got one or two trees that are just taking the bloody time getting in leaf, and not really too concerned of them. They're showing a little bit of signs of green, but they're just being a little bit lazy, if I do say so myself. Just like me, relaxing. Although I haven't been relaxing, as you can tell. Oh, the sweat, whew, dripping off me. One, because of the heat, and two, because I've been hard at it. If I just adjust the camera a little bit, you can see just in the ground here, and I've showed you prior, all the grounds now have been turfed up, mixed in with a little bit of soil. It's all been dug out, at least a lot of the old stumps have been, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 5 or 6 trees left to dig out, and one of them being the oak that I've left in and I want to dig out. Now, sorry, I'm sweating, it's dripping off me. So one is the oak. In the last oak video that was done 2 years ago, and it's got the owl on it just there, I will do an update video after this. Yeah, I'll do an update video after this on that one. So, in the original video on that, one guy did say that the best time for him, and is an experienced digging oaks, and he's been doing it for about 20 years, is around about June. Now, we are in April, May. Just turned into May. It's May 1st, May 2nd today. So, I'm going to dig it up because I can't really leave it too much longer because I'm in the middle of doing the garden, digging everything out. Sorry. You can see I'm hot and sticky and sweaty. I'm still continually wiping sweat off. That sounds really minging, but that's where we're at. The heat is so hot. So I'm going to dig it up today. I'm going to go on his advice. I've left it for the leaves to sprout out. They're not hard, but they have hardened off enough. I can't really wait till June, as he says, but I'm going to experiment. I'm going to go ahead, dig it up today, and see if that actually works with an oak. I'm not too concerned about losing it. Again, it was here when we got the house, so if it goes, it goes. But again, it's another experiment, and I can let you know in the UK whether digging up at this time of year is the right time of year to dig up oaks. Now, probably a lot of you are saying it's not the right time of year, but this gentleman's been doing it for 20 years, and he says that's when he does it. That's when he's had the most success. Now, I've also learned from the last video, and everybody saying, tap roots. You've got to keep as much of that tap root as possible and as much root as possible when you're dealing with oaks. So, I'm going to try my best. It's in my garden. I'm going to try and take my time with it. Hey, but we've only got about, I'd say, this much room to play about with. When it's against the wall, but I'm not too concerned because the wall's only about this high now because I've destroyed it. It's coming out anyway. So I'm going to go, and I'll go hard at it, take it around, and try to destroy the wall, but I'm not going to destroy my fence because it's brand new. So I'm going to get it out today, and we're going to get it repotted up, and I'm going to see what adverse reaction it has digging up at this time of year. And if it lives, hey, I've got a nice new tree in the collection. If it doesn't live, oh well, I've cleared my garden out, and that is the aim for clearing out the garden going forward. But I'm going to try and keep this tree. And I can't leave it in all year, because if I leave it in all year, well, it's coming out anyway, and there's no chance it's surviving. So this is the best chance I've got of keeping this tree. So let's get it over there, and let me show you the tree. And let's get into it. So the tree is just down the side of the fence, so as you can see, that's my work area. And if you come down here, I've got loads more to do on this section, so I've cleared this section. I've got this one to get rid of, and I've got all this that is now weeds, but the tree in question is this nice little oak just here. Now, as you can see, the branches are still quite bendy and floppy, so they're malleable enough, but they are also, so this one itself is actually, I need to make a choice on them too, if I was making choices, but not right now is not the decision. So it is in here with a load of other weeds and everything else, and as I say, this just here was the retaining wall that lent all the way down the side of my fence. Now, as I say, the fence is new and we've got weeds, and I've got a rose bush there that I originally dug back, but that's coming out as well. And then I've got, well, as you can see, loads of weeds that are all coming out. So this today is going to be dug out. I've removed as much as the wall I can. It is relatively wobbly, so I can move it slightly, but I'm going to say all oaks have got a lot of taproot, so that's going to go down quite far. So I'm going to dig around as much as I can. I'm going to go down as much as I can. This wall's going to obviously come out. That's going to fall apart as I'm digging, and then I'm going to try and cut in as much as that taproot far down as I can. Then I'm just going to get it in one of them giant pond baskets that I've got with my soil, and hopefully I can keep this tree alive. I don't want to take off too much roots, but I do know with the oaks, they spread out as much as they can, so I'm going to try and keep as much root system as possible to keep this alive, and I'm not going to touch it. And then come next year, when it goes dormant, I'm going to take it out the pot, if it stays alive that is. Then I will take a little bit off the root, taproot, and then I'll do the same next year. So every year I'll just take a little bit more off the taproot, if it survives that is. So first things first, I need to clear up this area of the weeds and then get in there. So I'll do bit by bit. I won't put you on a time lapse or anything. I'm just going to come back in section by section so I can show you each little bit of the tree. So this is it. So that's what we're working with, and as you can see, not too much in terms of space. So I'm going to start getting into this. So I'm going to make a radial cut, I'd say ½ metre wide. I'm going to start over here. I'm going to try and cut around, get rid of all the weeds first, and as the song goes, the first cut is always the deepest. Probably not in this case. It's just a case of getting it down, moving some soil out of the way, seeing what we're working with. Topsoil. I do have a little bit of roots, nothing major. Okay, I've only been out this 5 minutes, if that, so I've got a good chunk of roots here. Let me just move these out of the way, and all the roots as well. So you can see I've got a good chunk of roots here. Unfortunately, this big root here has split the bottom part of the tree. As I've got the shovel in, it's come up and split. So I'm a bit concerned. I need to try and pull that back down when I repot it. Keep it in there. And then here's the taproot. So you can see, just there, the taproot goes all the way down. But I'm just going to come in, cut that bit, and I've got plenty of roots just around here. It should hopefully keep the tree alive. And as I say, want to repot the tree, I'm going to keep this in. I'm going to try and push it in and tie it back in. I've got raffia, so I'm going to raffia it around, try and hopefully keep that root back in there, and it should hopefully, fingers crossed anyway, seal back together. So I'm going to give the tree a quick cut in here, get the roots in some water and get the tree healthy. I did unfortunately catch these side here. Whew, I'm out of breath a little bit. Well, I don't want to leave it in the sun too long with the roots showing. So I'm going to quickly cut this off. Quick look at the roots. As you can see, I've left plenty on there. That's as it came off. So now I'm just going to throw it in a pot, get it potted up. So I know if I just put it on the floor there, you can see properly. I've got a decent set of roots. That's just going to come off there. So got a good, healthy amount of roots. Just sprayed it with water, so it is drying out because of the hold crappy soil, so that's why it's going this sort of colour. But I've got a good healthy amount of roots. It is split there, and it's split right up the trunk as well, as I say, but I can't really, I've tried raffia it in, but it's not holding proper. I'm going to try again one more time, see if I can get it to close that gap in. If not, I'm going to have a crack right at the bottom of my base. One more try, and then I'm going to start potting it up. So the root system, I've damaged this little bottom bit here, so I'm going to have to just try and neaten it up a little bit. It is a taproot, so it's not too much of an issue. I've cut this bit because I split it as well, so that was completely split in two, so I've had to cut it, otherwise it might have caused root rot. Everything else I've left as much as I can. Anything I damaged I've just taken back, but overall I've left everything really long. As you can see, it goes over the actual basket, but I'm just going to bring everything in and put downwards like that, and I'm just going to put it in the basket and fill it up. I'm not too concerned about it being too radial. I want to try and give the tree the best opportunity I can of surviving, so that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to fill it up about 50% of the way, then I'm going to make sure these roots go in. And then these white bits here, these are not actually roots from this tree, well, they are weeds, so I want to make sure they're out as well. Let's neaten this cut. So let's put that there for one side a second. Let's start filling. Let's fill my tray. Put my tree in. Again, just make sure all the roots are in. I'm not bothered about it being here, there, everywhere. Just going to make sure it's neat and tidy. And as you can see, the bottom part here, the best way to close that up was with a bit of wire. The tree is going in. Again, not too concerned about an angle or anything like that. I want to make sure the tree is in as many roots as possible to keep this tree alive. Get the tree in there, keep it in, and then again, just going to go in, fill the tree up with my soil. Again, I've got loads of sphagnum moss in here to try and help recovery. Let's try and do this good stuff without actually spilling it everywhere. Could use my fingers just to wiggle the soil in between the roots for now. The soil's falling in between the gaps, and then I'm going to go in and I'm just going to give it a gentle wiggle. And now I'm just going to go grab myself, a jiggly pokey stick, aka chopstick, and then we're going to work it in between the roots. One pokey stick acquired. Let's work it in. So as we work it in, the soil will gently fall, filling those gaps up, as you can see. So I'm going to continue doing that. Once all the gaps are filled up, I'm going to fill it in with some more soil as well. All the gaps are now filled in. As you can see, the tree is planted, it's quite far back this way, but that is to make sure all them roots are in. I don't want to take any more roots off if I don't have to. So now, let's give it a nice water in. Make sure everything is good watered in. The roots are not drying out. And then I'm going to put this in the shade, let it recover. I hope you can see this okay, because I can't see anything on screen. The sun is so bright, I can't actually see the screen that I'm filming. So here it goes. I hope this works out okay. But anyways, the tree, that's what we're here for, not me gabbing. So anyway, the tree is potted up. I'll give you a bit of a spin. You can see, unfortunately, I knocked off the branches at the back, but it's not too much of an issue because I've got a couple of buds here and here. There's two just ready to pop, and a couple of little ones at the back here as well, and just on this branch as well there's more, but again we won't be utilizing those. I'll just be letting those ones grow at the back, and the tree is now all in the pot nicely, no dramas, everything's in there, and it is nice and secure. As you can see, the only thing I am going to be doing is just taking some of this growth off, just to help relieve some of that pressure on those roots. So this section here, I can just move it into shape a little bit. You can see the branch comes off, it goes up on this section. I've got this section as well, so I will just trim here, and then I'm going to come in, I'm just going to take this one out, and then I'm going to bring this one back so there's not too much growing upwards. And then again, also just gonna, I think I'll just take this one back down here. This back one, where it allows to come off, you can see I just need to take that one out, and then I'm going to allow this one here. I'll probably grow out this way, and then I'm just going to take it back to this section here like that. Just reducing it a little bit, takes off the strain again a little bit from the root system. This lower branch, again, is putting out an awful lot of growth for what it is. Probably a little bit too low down, but again, no major concerns. Whoops, got a little growth there, just dip off. Probably, as I say, probably a little bit too low down, but I'm just going to come in and reduce it back to these two here, and that's all I'm going to do. Got this branch, it used to be a big section. I've reduced it down here. I've got a growth coming off here, and I've got growth coming off this section here. Now, for now, I am going to let both of them grow out, and then I've got a section just on this bit in the middle. Remove it. I'm going to take that one off. These two, as I say, I'm going to let grow, but I am going to reduce that one, and I am also going to reduce that one just there. With me saying this one's going to go, you'll see them two that do diverge off that one. This is my leader, which will grow up. This one will grow out nicely as well. I'll allow that one to develop. That will be removed, as I say, and then at the back we will allow some of these buds to pop off, giving us back branches. So we've taken this much off, which will allow me to take the stress off the root system. Now I'm just going to allow it to recover, put it in the shade, and I'll give you a spin. I'll come back in a month or two, give you a little update whether or not it's survived, more importantly than anything, and if it has survived, I'll let you know how it's doing and whether what growth it's put on. So I hope you enjoy this one. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think this is going to do. Will it survive? Will it put on loads of growth? Well, you'll just have to stick around to find out. Please do subscribe, follow, give me a like, share this one with your friends. I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Thanks for watching.